Reaching your 70s can be one of the most enriching, fulfilling times of your life. Many people say it's like reaching a mountain peak, where you can finally look back with wisdom and grace at the long road you've traveled. But for many of us, this new chapter often brings a need to make some lifestyle adjustments so we can continue to feel as vibrant as possible. Whether you've heard this from others or felt it for yourself, letting go of certain habits, attitudes, or practices can open up more room for the things that really matter at this age. From my perspective, having had friends, family, and community members talk about their experiences, here are some of the most impactful things people choose to quit after 70. Number 1. The habit of saying yes to everything. It's a well-known fact that as we age, time becomes a precious resource. In your 70s, you've earned the right to be choosier about how you spend it. Many people talk about the peace they've found by becoming more selective with their commitments and saying no more often. This might mean declining events you're not genuinely interested in or even skipping certain family gatherings that feel more draining than fulfilling. For instance, one friend of mine shared that she stopped saying yes to every family dinner because she noticed it would exhaust her for days afterward. She now attends fewer events, but feels much more present and engaged when she does go. By setting these boundaries, you can carve out more time for things you genuinely enjoy and that nourish your spirit. 2. Perfectionism and self-criticism. Perfectionism isn't a trait we often associate with people in their 70s, but it lingers more than you might think. Whether it's about maintaining your home to pristine standards, cooking for others, or how you look, that voice of, "it's not good enough," can still sneak up on us. One woman I knew, a retired teacher, said she always worried her cooking wasn't up to par, even when her guests praised her meals. In her 70s, she finally let go of that worry. She realized that people came for her company, not to critique her culinary skills. She felt a newfound joy in the kitchen, focusing on simple, tasty meals she enjoyed cooking, rather than impressing her guests. This mindset shift often brings a greater sense of self-acceptance and inner peace, a gift worth embracing. 3. The idea that you have to keep busy to be useful. Our culture has a way of equating busyness with productivity. But many people find that after a lifetime of working, caregiving, and keeping up with social obligations, it's incredibly freeing to realize they no longer need to stay busy. Many seniors share that they feel more fulfilled by slowing down and savoring the simple joys of life, watching a sunset, reading a novel, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee without rush. One elderly couple I know decided to sell their large family home and move into a small condo. This allowed them to eliminate hours of yard work, home maintenance, and cleaning. With this extra time, they found themselves enjoying new experiences like leisurely walks, visiting local museums, and reconnecting with friends. Embracing a slower pace can be a radical act of self-love and fulfillment. 4. The urge to hold grudges or harbor resentment. For many people, reaching 70 is a time to reflect on past hurts, betrayals, and grudges that may still weigh heavily. Carrying resentment can be a heavy burden, both emotionally and physically. Many have shared stories about the profound lightness they feel when they finally let go of a grudge they'd held for decades. A neighbor once told me about forgiving an old friend with whom she had a falling out over 20 years ago. She said that letting go of the resentment brought her a new sense of peace, and she felt her sleep improve and her spirits lift. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning the hurtful actions. It simply means choosing to unburden yourself from carrying them forward. Letting go of grudges can free up emotional space for more meaningful connections. 5. The pursuit of keeping up with younger generations. With the rapid pace of technology and trends, it can be tempting to try to keep up with every new thing. While learning new skills can be valuable, the constant need to keep up can become exhausting and unnecessary. Many people over 70 find greater happiness in selectively choosing what matters most to them rather than feeling pressured to learn every new app or social media platform. For example, a friend decided she didn't need to learn how to use Instagram just because her grandkids were on it. Instead, she asked them to share photos through a simpler platform they could both enjoy, like an easy-to-use photo sharing app. This allowed her to stay connected without feeling overwhelmed or out of her depth. 6. Excessive worrying about what others think. One of the biggest freedoms people experience after 70 is letting go of the fear of judgment. For many of us, it's been ingrained to seek approval from family, friends, or society at large. But the truth is, once you reach a certain age, you start realizing that other people's opinions don't matter as much as your own happiness and well-being. A gentleman I knew shared a story about how he'd spent most of his life wearing uncomfortable clothes just because they looked sharp. When he turned 70, he decided to prioritize comfort over style. He started wearing clothes he truly enjoyed, like cozy sweaters and comfortable shoes, and he felt happier for it. Many people find a new sense of liberation when they stop worrying about how others perceive them and focus on what makes them feel good. 7. Excessive possessions. Decluttering isn't just about simplifying your physical space. It's also about letting go of emotional baggage tied to material items. Many people in their 70s begin to recognize that their homes are filled with items they no longer need, items that once held sentimental value but now only create clutter. For instance, I've known people who found joy in downsizing and giving away items that they'd kept out of obligation. One friend of mine chose to pass down her collection of family china to her daughter, while she donated other items that no longer served her. She described the experience as a cleansing, a way to create room for what matters most now: space, peace, and memories rather than objects. 8. The desire to plan every detail. Many people realize that while planning is important, obsessively planning every detail can create unnecessary stress and keep us from living in the moment. A close friend shared her story about giving up the need to meticulously plan every holiday, meal, and gathering. Instead, she found joy in being more spontaneous and embracing whatever came her way. In your 70s, letting go of rigid plans can open you up to experiences that are more relaxed and enjoyable. You might find yourself saying yes to a spontaneous weekend visit from a friend or exploring a new activity with an open mind. The beauty of this stage of life is that it allows for more spontaneity, which can lead to wonderful surprises. 9. Need to control every outcome. At this stage, many people find peace in letting go of the urge to control every situation or outcome. Whether it's worrying about a loved one's choices, trying to predict the future, or feeling responsible for how things turn out, these habits can be incredibly draining. One woman I knew told me she finally stopped trying to control how her adult children lived their lives. Instead, she chose to offer gentle advice when asked, then step back and let them make their own decisions. She said it transformed her relationships with them, making her feel more connected, accepted, and able to simply enjoy their company. Learning to relinquish control can make room for a more flexible, joyful mindset. It also fosters a deeper sense of trust in life, which can be incredibly liberating. Embracing the idea that some things are simply beyond our control can bring a newfound sense of calm and perspective. 10. Negative self-talk about physical changes. Aging comes with physical changes, and while it's natural to notice them, constantly critiquing these changes can be exhausting and counterproductive. Many people find that after 70, they are better served by focusing on what their bodies can still do, rather than on the changes that have happened over the years. One gentleman shared that he used to be frustrated by his gray hair and slower movement, but he eventually learned to appreciate these signs of experience. Now he views each grey hair as a symbol of wisdom gained, each wrinkle as evidence of laughter and love. When we treat our bodies with kindness and gratitude, it shifts our focus away from negative thoughts, giving us a more empowering and positive relationship with ourselves. 11. Desire to always be right in conversations. With age often comes the realization that being right isn't nearly as important as being at peace. Engaging in debates and arguments to prove a point or insisting on the correct way to do things can create unnecessary tension in relationships. Many people find that choosing peace over the need to be right allows them to build deeper connections with others, free from the strain of conflict. I remember a friend sharing how she used to argue with her siblings about politics, parenting, and even household decisions. When she turned 70, she decided to stop trying to convince everyone of her point of view. Instead, she focused on understanding their perspectives and building a loving connection. She found this shift brought her closer to her family and made conversations more enjoyable, allowing her to spend time appreciating loved ones rather than debating with them. Giving up the need to be right can lead to a softer, more harmonious atmosphere in relationships, helping you cherish your time together. 12. Comparing yourself to others. Comparison is often said to be the thief of joy, and this holds true even more so as we age. Many people discover after 70 that comparing themselves to others, whether it's health, wealth, accomplishments, or family dynamics, only leads to unnecessary dissatisfaction. A gentleman once shared with me that he spent years feeling disheartened because his friends seemed more active or better off financially. Eventually, he realized that everyone has their own unique journey, with its own joys and challenges. He found far more happiness in focusing on his own blessings and what brought him contentment. Letting go of comparisons allows you to see the beauty in your own path and appreciate your accomplishments, both big and small. It frees you to focus on what genuinely matters to you without the pressure to measure up to anyone else's standards. 13. Rushing through daily activities. By the time you're in your 70s, there's often a shift in perspective that comes from realizing the importance of savoring each day. Many people talk about how they've stopped rushing through meals, chores, or even conversations. Instead, they try to be present, allowing themselves to enjoy the small moments without hurry. A friend of mine began practicing slow mornings, where she would take time to sip her tea, listen to music, and simply enjoy the beginning of each day rather than rushing through her routine. This slower, more intentional approach to daily activities can make even the simplest things feel rich and meaningful. By slowing down, you allow yourself to connect more deeply with life and feel more grounded, creating a sense of calm that can truly enhance your quality of life. 14. Pressure to accumulate more material wealth. After a lifetime of working hard and providing for yourself or others, many people in their 70s feel a strong shift away from material accumulation. The focus often turns toward enjoying life, experiences, and relationships rather than worrying about gathering more possessions or wealth. A friend once shared that he spent his younger years always looking for the next investment opportunity or financial gain. But now, he's chosen to focus on spending his resources on meaningful experiences, like taking his grandchildren on special outings or enjoying a simple weekend getaway with his spouse. Letting go of the urge to accumulate more can be incredibly freeing. It helps you live with a sense of contentment, finding joy in what you already have, and recognizing that the most fulfilling things, laughter, love, and connection, can't be bought. 15. Habit of overthinking the future. While planning can be useful, overthinking what lies ahead can lead to unnecessary worry, especially in later years. Many people in their 70s have shared that releasing the habit of constant future tripping has brought them peace. One woman told me that she used to spend hours each night worrying about health outcomes, finances, and family issues, all of which were largely beyond her control. She later made it a practice to focus more on the present moment and let go of the constant concern over what-ifs. Stepping away from overthinking can bring a sense of liberation, helping you enjoy each day as it comes. By focusing more on today, you create a life that feels less cluttered by hypothetical scenarios and more rooted in gratitude, which enhances your sense of peace and joy. Turning 70 can be an incredibly freeing experience if you allow it to be. By letting go of certain habits, mindsets, and routines, you're creating space for more joy, connection, and simplicity in life. Embrace this as a time to do things that make you feel light, purposeful, and genuinely happy. Let go of the old pressures and expectations and welcome the peace that comes with living authentically for yourself. The wisdom you've gathered over the years is a gift. Use it to enrich your life, one beautiful moment at a time. Feel free to share your own thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, kindly give it a like and subscribe to not miss any of our future videos. Take care and thank you for watching. As we age, our priorities shift. We value simplicity, health, and quality over quantity. Your kitchen, a place of nourishment and connection, should reflect that mindset. But over time, it can become cluttered with items that not only take up space, but also pose potential health risks. And many of these dangers go unnoticed. Today, I want to share actionable advice about toxic kitchen items you should declutter immediately. These aren't just my thoughts. They're echoed by countless people on various platforms. Let's dive in, shall we? Number 1. Non-stick cookware with worn coatings. Non-stick pans are a blessing for easy cooking, but as they age, the coating can flake off into your food. Most non-stick cookware is made with Teflon, which when damaged can release harmful chemicals when heated. These chemicals, such as perfluorooctanoic acid, PFOA, have been linked to health issues like thyroid problems and even cancer. I've read numerous accounts from people who experienced improved health after switching to stainless steel or cast iron cookware. Plus, these alternatives last longer and don't compromise on quality. You can replace old non-stick pans with alternatives like stainless steel, cast iron, or ceramic-coated cookware. If you're nervous about the transition, start small. For example, a friend's grandmother switched one skillet at a time and loved the difference in taste and quality. Season cast iron pans to create a natural non-stick surface, a simple step that many home cooks swear by. 2. Plastic utensils and containers. Many plastics contain BPA or other harmful chemicals that can leach into food, especially when heated. Seniors often have a collection of plasticware built up over decades, and it's easy to overlook the damage time and use have caused. Heat can warp plastic, causing cracks and uneven surfaces where bacteria can hide. A neighbor shared that after replacing her old plastic containers with glass, her soups and stews tasted fresher. She also found them easier to clean, reducing frustration with stuck-on grease. She noted that switching to silicone spatulas and bamboo utensils made her feel more eco-friendly too. You can declutter warped or stained plastic containers and replace them with glass or stainless steel alternatives. Look for containers with airtight lids for better food preservation. Use wooden or silicone utensils instead of plastic. Silicone can withstand high temperatures without degrading, making it a safer option. 3. Chipped or cracked dinnerware. Those chipped plates and mugs may hold sentimental value, but they're also harboring bacteria. Even small cracks can be a breeding ground for germs, especially in humid environments. In addition, older ceramics might contain lead-based glazes, which are unsafe for food use. If you've inherited antique dinnerware, it might be worth testing for lead before continued use. You need to say goodbye to damaged pieces and invest in a small, high-quality dinnerware set. Consider repurposing sentimental pieces. Turn that old teacup into a planter instead of keeping it in the kitchen. Opt for durable, chip-resistant dinnerware like stoneware or tempered glass, which is both functional and stylish. 4. Spices older than 5 years. Did you know spices lose their potency and nutritional benefits over time? Many seniors hold onto spice racks filled with jars from decades ago. Expired spices can also attract pests like pantry moths. One elderly woman mentioned how refreshing it felt to clean out old spices and restock them with fresh, vibrant ones. Fresh spices not only enhance flavor, but also retain their health benefits, such as antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Toss anything you can't remember buying. Some common culprits include ground nutmeg, paprika, and oregano. Replace your staples with smaller quantities to ensure freshness. Buy in bulk if possible, and store in airtight containers. Store them in a cool, dark place to extend their life. Avoid keeping spices above the stove where heat can accelerate spoilage. 5. Aluminum cookware. Though lightweight and affordable, aluminum pots and pans can leach into food, especially acidic dishes like tomato sauce. Long-term exposure to aluminum has been linked to health concerns, including Alzheimer's disease. While the scientific consensus isn't definitive, many people prefer to err on the side of caution. If you're still using aluminum cookware, consider upgrading to anodized aluminum, safer, or other materials like stainless steel. Many seniors recommend enamel-coated cast iron for its durability and even heating. Plus, it's visually appealing and doubles as serveware. Explore ceramic-coated options, which are both lightweight and non-toxic. 6. Outdated small appliances. That ancient toaster or coffee maker might still work, but older appliances can emit harmful chemicals and pose fire hazards. Components like rubber seals and plastic casings degrade over time, which can impact performance and safety. A gentleman once shared that his 15-year-old blender started emitting a burnt plastic smell, prompting him to replace it, and his smoothies never tasted better. Inspect appliances for wear, frayed cords, or odd smells. If it sparks joy or functionality, keep it. Otherwise, replace it. Replace outdated items with energy-efficient models, which can save money on electricity. Decluttering bulky appliances also frees up valuable counter space. Consider multifunctional devices like an Instant Pot, which can replace a slow cooker, rice cooker, and more. 7. Old non-food items. Your kitchen might be hiding expired cleaning supplies, rusty sponges, or old dishcloths, all of which can spread bacteria. Moldy or musty cleaning items can also introduce allergens into your home. A YouTube comment I once read mentioned how much brighter and cleaner a kitchen felt after tossing dingy cleaning items. Replace old sponges with silicone scrubbers or washable alternatives like bamboo cloths. Refresh your dish towels and oven mitts. Look for antimicrobial options for added hygiene. Use natural cleaners like vinegar and baking soda to reduce chemical exposure. Consider making your own cleaning sprays to save money and reduce waste. 8. Unused or duplicate gadgets. Do you really need 3 garlic presses? Or that waffle maker you haven't touched in years? Clutter can make cooking feel overwhelming and stressful. Many Reddit users swear by simplifying their kitchens to only include what they actually use. Having fewer items makes it easier to maintain cleanliness and order. Donate or sell items you haven't used in the last year. Local donation centers or online marketplaces are great options. Keep multi-purpose tools that save space, like an immersion blender instead of a bulky countertop blender. Assess your gadgets. If it's collecting dust, it's time to let it go. Remember, less is more when it comes to efficiency. 9. Rusty or dull knives. Using old, rusty, or dull knives isn't just a safety hazard, it can also ruin your cooking experience. Dull knives require more force to cut, increasing the risk of accidents, while rusty blades may introduce harmful particles into your food. One man shared how upgrading to a quality chef's knife transformed his meal prep, making it faster and more enjoyable. Sharpen your knives regularly or have them professionally sharpened. Replace heavily rusted or cheap, dull knives with high-quality stainless steel options. Invest in a magnetic strip or a proper knife block for safer storage. 10. Expired canned goods. It's easy to forget about canned goods in the back of your pantry, but expired cans can swell and leak, posing a serious health risk. Foodborne illnesses from consuming outdated canned items can be particularly hard on seniors. One gentleman highlighted how regular pantry checks helped a family reduce food waste and feel more organized. Check expiration dates and dispose of anything past its prime. Organize your pantry so older items are at the front and new purchases are stored in the back. Consider donating unopened, non-expired items you don't plan to use. 11. Dishware with faded designs. Faded patterns on dishware aren't just an aesthetic issue. Older dishes with painted designs might contain lead or other harmful substances that can leach into food, especially if the glaze is chipped or worn. This concern is especially relevant for vintage or imported items. Test vintage dishware for lead using a home testing kit if you're unsure. Replace older or damaged pieces with modern lead-free options. Opt for plain, unpainted dinnerware for peace of mind. 12. Old cutting boards. Cutting boards, especially wooden ones, can harbor bacteria in deep grooves left by knives. Plastic boards can also become scratched and stained over time, making them less hygienic. A well-maintained cutting board not only improves kitchen safety, but also elevates your cooking experience. Replace heavily scratched plastic boards and deeply grooved wooden boards. Opt for bamboo or high-quality wood boards treated with food-safe oil to prevent drying and cracking. Consider using separate boards for raw meat, vegetables, and ready-to-eat foods. 13. Old or worn-out baking sheets. Baking sheets tend to collect burnt-on grease and stains over time, which can transfer unwanted flavors to your food. Warped or rusted sheets can also affect how evenly your food cooks. One woman mentioned how replacing her baking sheets improved the results of her baked goods dramatically. Replace warped, rusted, or excessively stained baking sheets. Invest in non-toxic, non-stick options, or use parchment paper to reduce cleanup. Consider silicone baking mats for an eco-friendly alternative. 14. Outdated food processors or blenders. An old food processor or blender with dull blades or leaking parts can make meal prep more of a chore than it needs to be. Plus, older models may not be as efficient or safe as modern alternatives. Upgrading to a new appliance can make your kitchen routines faster and more enjoyable. Test your appliances for efficiency. If blending or chopping takes longer than it should, it's time for an upgrade. Replace worn-out models with energy-efficient, easy-to-clean options. Look for multifunctional appliances to save space and money. 15. Unused specialty tools. That fondue pot you bought for one special occasion or the pasta maker you haven't touched in years might just be taking up space. Specialty tools can clutter your kitchen and make it harder to find the items you actually use. Simplifying your collection can make your kitchen feel more open and functional. You can donate or sell tools you haven't used in over a year. Borrow or rent specialty tools for one-time use instead of buying them. Focus on versatile tools that can handle multiple tasks. Your kitchen should be a haven, a place that's both functional and safe. By decluttering these toxic or outdated items, you're not just freeing up space. You're investing in your health and well-being. And remember, the process doesn't have to be overwhelming. Tackle one drawer, one cupboard, or even one item at a time. I'd love to hear your stories. Have you decluttered any toxic kitchen items recently? Did it make a difference in your daily life? Let's keep the conversation going. because we're all in this together. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it. Hit the subscribe button for more tips on living your best life in your golden years. Take care, and thank you for watching. Decluttering your home as a senior is more than just an exercise in tidying up. It's an opportunity to simplify, lighten your mental load, and create a living space that works better for you in this chapter of your life. Let's take a walk through your home together, and I'll help you pinpoint things that you might no longer need, sharing insights from people who've been in your shoes. This isn't about throwing things out for the sake of it. It's about reclaiming your space and your time. Number 1. Bulk items and stockpiles. Many seniors share that they no longer need to keep a pantry stocked as though they're preparing for a blizzard. Large packs of paper towels, bulk-sized jars of condiments, and other cost-effective purchases can take up valuable space and become burdensome to manage. But why should you declutter all these? You see, as we age, shopping habits often shift. Bulk buying made sense when you had a bustling household, but now it may lead to expired goods or wasted space. You can instead keep only what you need for the next few weeks. If the idea of running out worries you, keep a simple shopping list handy and consider delivery services. Many seniors swear by the convenience of grocery apps. 2. Excessive kitchen gadgets. Do you still use that waffle iron from 1985? Or that avocado slicer you bought on a whim? Many people find that their kitchens accumulate gadgets that were rarely, if ever, used. As one gentleman once put it, if it's gathering dust, it's not earning its spot in your kitchen. Counter space is precious, and decluttering can make cooking feel less stressful and more enjoyable. You can instead keep versatile tools like a sharp knife and a sturdy cutting board. Donate specialty items to someone who might use them more. And if you really need to make waffles, your local cafe probably does a great job. 3. Old technology. Drawers full of tangled cords, outdated smartphones, and computers that haven't been turned on in a decade are common clutter culprits. These items not only take up space, but can also be a safety hazard. A YouTube commenter shared that their mom's drawer of tech fossils became a frustrating maze every time they needed a simple charger. Instead, recycle or donate functioning technology. Keep just a couple of universal chargers and properly dispose of everything else. This frees up space for simpler, more streamlined living. 4. Furniture that's no longer functional. Oversized dining tables, worn-out recliners, or extra chairs nobody uses anymore can make your home feel cramped. One senior shared their experience. I didn't realize how much furniture was more of a memory than a necessity. Holding onto pieces that no longer serve you can make it harder to navigate your space. Instead, keep pieces that are comfortable and practical. If you're worried about letting go of sentimental items, consider gifting them to family or taking photos to preserve the memory. 5. Clothing that doesn't suit your lifestyle. Do you still have suits, heels, or formal outfits that haven't been touched in years? Many seniors hold on to clothing for what-if scenarios that never happen. Not only does it free up closet space, but it's also emotionally liberating. One senior shared, "Letting go of clothes I'd never wear again helped me embrace the person I am now." Instead, keep only what fits, feels good, and aligns with your current lifestyle. Donate gently used items to someone who can truly benefit. 6. Duplicate items. Extra sets of dishes, multiple tools, or spare bedding you never use often end up sitting idle. You probably don't need 6 spatulas or 3 slow cookers. A user on a decluttering forum put it best: extras are fine until they become obstacles. You can instead keep 1 or 2 of each essential item. This makes your belongings more accessible and your storage areas less cluttered. 7. Old hobby supplies. Do you still have fabric from a sewing phase or paint from an art class you took years ago? While hobbies are wonderful, holding on to unused supplies can create guilt rather than joy. Unused hobby items can remind you of unfinished projects or neglected interests, which can feel heavy. One senior woman wrote, "Letting go of my scrapbook supplies was hard, but it felt great to give them to someone actively crafting." You can instead keep only what you're genuinely excited to use. Donate the rest to schools, community centers, or hobby groups. 8. Knickknacks and decorative items. Figurines, photo frames, and souvenirs can quickly overwhelm shelves and surfaces. Over time, they can start to feel more like clutter than meaningful memories. One senior mentioned, "When I simplified my decor, my home felt calmer and more serene." You can instead choose a few meaningful pieces to display and rotate if needed. Store or donate the rest. 9. Sentimental items with no place. This is often the hardest category to address. Letters, photos, and keepsakes from loved ones can pile up quickly. Holding on to everything can dilute the specialness of truly meaningful items. One gentleman shared his strategy. "I digitized old photos and kept just a few physical ones. It was like a weight lifted." Instead, you can select a few cherished items to keep or display. For the rest, consider creating a digital archive or gifting items to family members who might treasure them. 10. Expired medications and toiletries. Medicine cabinets often become a catch-all for half-used bottles and outdated prescriptions. Expired items not only waste space but can also be unsafe. A forum member suggested checking dates regularly. It's surprising how much you accumulate when you're not looking. Safely dispose of expired medications at a pharmacy or take-back program. Keep your essentials streamlined and organized. 11. Unused gardening tools and supplies. If you're no longer gardening regularly, tools, pots, and bags of soil might just be gathering dust in the shed. One man shared, "Letting go of my unused gardening tools freed up space and allowed me to focus on other hobbies." Keeping things you don't use can become a burden. Keep only the tools you actively use. Donate or sell the rest to someone who'll put them to good use. 12. Outdated books and magazines. Bookshelves filled with books you've already read or magazines from years ago can quickly become cluttered. Holding on to outdated reading material can make it harder to enjoy the books you truly love. One senior woman shared, "I donated my old books and now have space for the ones I really treasure." You can instead keep a small collection of favorites and donate the rest to libraries or community centers. 13. Unnecessary bathroom accessories. Extra towels, bath mats, and decorative items can make a bathroom feel crowded and harder to clean. Simplifying your bathroom setup makes it more functional and easier to maintain. One forum user noted, "Decluttering my bathroom was the easiest way to make it feel fresh." You can instead keep only the essentials and a few spares, donate or repurpose excess items. 14. Unused sports equipment. If you're no longer engaging in certain physical activities, sports equipment like tennis rackets, golf clubs, or exercise machines can take up unnecessary space. As one senior put it, "My treadmill became a very expensive clothes rack." Holding on to unused equipment can create guilt rather than inspiration. You can instead sell or donate items to someone who will use them. Focus on equipment that supports your current fitness routine. 15. Holiday decorations you don't use. Decorations for holidays you no longer celebrate or themes you've moved past can pile up over the years. Storing large boxes of unused decorations can be a hassle. A forum commenter shared, "Downsizing my holiday decor made it easier to enjoy the seasons without stress." You can consider keeping only the decorations you love and use each year. Donate the rest to thrift stores or community groups. Decluttering is not about losing things, it's about gaining freedom. By letting go of what you no longer need, you create space for what truly matters. Imagine a home where every item serves a purpose or brings you joy. That's the goal. Take it slow, tackle one area at a time, and remember, this is your space, your life, and your journey. Let's make it as beautiful and functional as you deserve. If this video was helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need it. Hit the subscribe button for more tips on living your best life in your golden years. Take care and thank you for watching.